Hi, what's up, Know It All Gang? It's your boy, Boy Knows Everything. And I know it's been a long time, guys. It's been a real long time. I just been doing a lot of things lately. I'm working on a podcast. Me and my first cousin, on my maternal first cousin, is working on a podcast, and it's called The Urban Experience. So, guys, I'm gonna keep you informed on that. Stay on the loop on that. It's gonna be really, really hot, and I can't wait to, bring that to you. Work been giving me, oh my gosh, the blues. So I'm probably still job seeking. I guess I had stopped at one point, so now I'm back on the market. I know I had told you guys about, knowing your self-worth. Well, I feel like, it's a whole nother episode, guys. That's not why we're not here. That's not why you clicked on the button. But, I'm just kind of giving you guys a update on Beau. Why I haven't dropped any more material content for you guys. Excuse me. For you guys. But, that's a job thing. Just being a fiance, a father, a son, a brother, uncle, just all of that. And I'm actually working on a agenda routine sort of to just put YouTube and my podcasting into my platform, get big enough to just let me just focus on it, because I really, really like doing this, and I'm going to like it more. And hey, I have like 7 subscribers. I started off with 0, so I feel like somebody. So hey, I got a big head already. Wait till I make it to 10, wait till I make it to 20, wait till I make it to 30, because that feels good to me, because I'm actually starting off like raw with something that I really, really enjoy doing, like talking and just giving my experiences and relating, other experiences to my experiences, which are things that me and my fiance do constantly, me and my cousin do whenever we speak. I do it myself in my head. I'm not crazy, but, I do it. So basically that's enough of, just hot topics, but hopefully we won't have to have another video starting like this, just giving you guys a update on what I've been doing, because I'll be giving you just straight raw footage. I mean, hey, I took the ancestry test. My fiance took the ancestry test. It was supposed to be like a whole thing, so I haven't even given you guys the results for that. But it's all coming. Trust me. Like, I'm gonna just put a day of just making YouTube videos and just drop them like every week and just say, hey, I'm gonna do this. But who knows? I think I'm gonna do that though, until I just like actually go live and just start interacting with you guys. But don't forget, guys, I still have like go to the bio, I have my email there, so like if you feel like you wanna submit a story or anything, just hit me up, reach out. Hopefully like when cash flow grow a little bit and I can afford to get like a little spare $20-$30 phone, add some minutes, kind of like Kaya. But I'll keep it replenished, but I won't be going live from that platform. I'll always use like a conference thing. But like some people like communicate like through texts, or some people communicate through like leaving a voicemail. So like I'll try to have like multiple communication screens for like the multiple, genre of people that basically just want to send in suggestions or just say comments, or I dislike you. Hey, keep away the hate mail. Oh, nah. I mean, I love constructive criticism. Hey guys, give it to me. Like if you have constructive criticism, I'm here for it. Send it in. Like, hey, just don't be so harsh, but I could take criticism, you know. I criticize myself, so hey, it is what it is. But you know, I'm just ready to just grow. So like I said, what's up, Know It All gang? It's you know, it's your boy Beau, Know Everything, and I'm coming to you live. Well, not actually live, but pre-recorded from mi casa here in Pleasantville. I know the setup is kind of different because, you know, I'm not like in my entertainment room anymore, which I love that spot. But like I have a spare room that I'm making into like my studio where I do my podcasting and my YouTube videos. And it's like I gotta get kind of comfortable with it, because if I never would have changed it, I would have always have like my camera and my light setting like in the center of my entertainment room. And it's like, I'm like OCD, and I'm really saying like in my head that that's ugly, but I'm keeping it there, and I'm knowing that, like my fiance, it's like, you know, but he's not gonna say anything because he really wants me to do the YouTubing and all of that. But it's just a lot of hassle just taking it out of the studio / guest / my daughter's room when she comes on some weekends, you know, and back into the entertainment room. Even though I love like my chair, like that's my area really. Whenever I'm like lounging, you know, I'm like right there in that section. So you know, like I just love that area of my house, you know. Even though I love all the areas of my house, that's like my most suitable lounging area, because I really don't watch TV, and there's not a TV in that room. And you know, it's just a fireplace. The mantle is cute. We have a pet snake now, so now we have 4, you know, no longer fuzzy. So we have 3 fuzzy animal kids, and we have 1 scaly animal kid. So we have Draco. He is a ball python, and I think he's about 7 months. That's a whole other video. Oh my gosh, this video should have just been an update of, you know what, I'm just gonna make that an update of just my life so far, and then I'll just come back and do the video, you know, what the video actually is gonna be. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. Yeah, that's cool. So this is just an update. Wow. But this day is kind of sort of turning into the day that I just do YouTube videos. Oh wow, I like it. Because guys, like actually, like today is Sunday. I know like you guys, it may get published today, but I kind of like had scheduled a routine, and I kind of didn't put YouTube in it, so I feel sorry for that. Because like, you know, I work Monday through Friday, and then like me and my cousin will meet on Saturday, you know, Saturday late morning, afternoonish, and work like an hour or 2 on the podcast. And then, you know, like I'll do like the weekly house cleaning like on Saturday, and then like iron like all the school clothes and, you know, stuff on Saturday. And then like on Sunday I'll just relax and not do anything, like probably do like some ancestry search or something. And it's kind of how my weekend was going. So today is Sunday, and me and my cousin didn't meet yesterday for the podcast for the first time, and it was kind of weird, but I didn't reach out because, you know, I know like normally like every Saturday, you know, like he'll be like, or Friday, he'll be like, we still on? And I'm like, yeah, you know, it's still on, you know, like I put it in my schedule, you know, like I put it there, like, you know, because I really like the podcasting, and then the fact that I'm doing it with my, you know, heterosexual maternal first cousin, it's like really cool, you know, being that, you know, I am, you know, homosexual, you know, my fiance is a man, you know, it's no secret, you know, I'm not like this, you know, homosexual man that's out there just, you know, wearing a halter tied and, you know, booty shorts or anything. You know, I carry myself very professional, and, you know, that's just me, you know, but my lifestyle is that, you know, I love men. I love my man. So, and I think it's just really, really cool because, you know, me and my cousin, we grew up. We really, really did. We grew up. You know, growing up, like so many memories, like all over the place. And it was really, really, really kind of good. And then it's like, I kind of pre the podcast, like I had like a conversation with him. I think it was like me and my mom was like kind of into it, you know, it happens. Like me and my mom stays into it. I love my mom to death, but that's a whole nother episode. You see, guys, that's why, you know, I say I have to bring YouTube to you guys, because my experiences and my storytelling times, and this is not this started as a storytelling time, and I was like, this just should be an update, or it's Beau. Sure, I don't even know what I'm gonna name this show yet, guys, but it's going good and I like it, and I don't have like editing yet, which my little cousin, which is 13, told me about some editing software that's free and it really, really works. I never tried it though. I put it in my notes, in my phone, and I never went back to it, but I'm gonna look into that, you know, because I need to, you know, kind of get into the editing and just making thumbnails and just do my banner and just all that kind of stuff, because I like the aspect of that, and I can learn that. Like, I'm kind of a geek, kind of, sort of, but not really a geek. I take my hats off to the true geeks, but I have geek potential. Like, I can learn the things that, you know, most people are like, no, I can't learn. You know, like how to jailbreak certain things. Like, if I really want to jailbreak it, like, I can learn how to jailbreak it. You know, from a real geek that can put it like in layman terms, you know, like I'll go see what, you know, the real professional person know how to do it, and it's telling me how to do it, and I can do it and get it done. So, you know, like, I'm that kind of geek, but I'm like, I'm not a real geek. I wouldn't even classify myself as a geek, because people may be like, ugh, geeks are like, ugh. But no, geeks are really not, because they're really smart in their crafts. Like, they're like hackers, and oh my gosh, like, I would really, if I was a geek, I would make so much money right now. But I don't even know what I am. I'm just smart, you know, which everybody is smart, because I learn from everybody every day from different walks of life. And I want to, that's my goal. Before I leave this earth, it's just to, you know, hear everybody experience from every different walk of life within my culture, other cultures, and just to relate that to one of my experiences, and just say, hey, we made it, or you made it, I'm gonna make it, we're gonna get through it, you know. And that's just one of my personal goals. And hey, you guys get to take my journey on that, you know, because like, you know, like how everybody always say you always have a purpose. Well, you know, like, I'm very, you know, I grew up very religious, kind of, sort of. Like, I went to church, you know, not like every Sunday, but enough Sundays. Like, I was brought up in church, like, you know, Baptist church, you know, good church. I enjoy church. Oh my gosh, I love, like, the best part of it is like the praise part and the worship part, and like the benediction, any part that involves like hymns or music is the best part of it. Like, even though I'm listening to the pastor, and like I was that kid, like when I went with my grandmother, because I always saw her, like, you know, like she'll make little notes in her Bible, and she had like the little tape to mark it or bookmark. She made it look so professional. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, like my grandma really got it together. Like when she was going to church, you know, like she had her little church notebook to, and she'll have like I don't the markers, but you know they're paper markers, and you put them like on the page, and it tapes, and it's a color, and it's kind of shorter than the other one, so you can see them, and it wouldn't interfere. She had that, and she had like a little Bible marker to mark certain passages, like, but that was her life, like, because when she wasn't in church, because she wasn't really working, or she wasn't like being a grandmother and a mother and a great grandmother, like she'll just sit in her chair and she'll watch a little TV, and she'll just skim through her Bible. So I kind of realized why she was so detailed in it, but it really, really looked like cool to me, because that's kind of how my brain operates, you know. So as I can kind of continue to go on to church with her, you know, even though the parts of it that interest me was like, you know, the hymns for, you know, the coming in, and, you know, the hymns for the offering, and, you know, the solo and the worship, and, you know, the part for when you're giving yourself, you know, to Christ so you can be saved and get baptized, you know, if there's a hymn for that, you know, there's a hymn for, you know, the end. And then Communion Sundays, there's like 2 extra or 3 extra hymns. Like all those parts were really, really, really like, oh my gosh, I would give a couple of $1,000s just to go back in that moment and record some of those hymns so I can have it now. Because they were like really, really, really detailed. And I can remember some of them in my head, but I can't remember all of them. Because it was a really, really good thing. Like, and that's what I liked it about it. But like, as I see, my grandmother was more detailed in the word. Like, you know, it was my environment. I adapted to it, and I started getting more detailed into the word. And I'll take like I have my own Bible. I'll take little sticky notes and write down, you know, all that. And then made my grandmother proud. It's like, oh, you're doing it. But like, I really didn't want to do it, but I'll do it. And then, but sometimes it's really good. Like, what the word was would be something that I'm going through, and I'm like, you know, and I can relate it to something that's in my life, what's kind of like in the Bible. So in those moments, I was like, or sometimes like I heard, you know, messages that I knew people were going through, and then I could be like, and then it was like, really? So that was kind of like weird, but really, 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 I want to say I was about 8 or 9, and my cousin, no older than 10. So if I was no older than 10, that means my cousin, Sean, who I'm doing our podcast with, was about 9 or 8. No older than 9. Like, we always was a spiritual family. You know, my grandmother raised me. But his mom and his stepdad raised him. But we had like a spiritual evangelist lady, and her name was Miss Viola. And not every weekend, but probably like 2 weekends out of a month, we'll go. Like me, my grandmother, of course I'm going for my grandmother going, because I live with her. That's my mom. We'll go. Probably like a couple of my aunts. Like probably like my Aunt Debbie and my Aunt Sam. I don't think my mom would go. And I guess like me and Sean. So we were like, I guess the only kind of like old enough kids, you know, to mind. And like her church was like in a hall, and you know, it was good church, and she was like a really, really nice lady from what I can remember from that period of time, because I really remember her. I just don't remember a lot, but I know she was in my life for, you know, a couple of years, you know, a couple months, because sometimes she'll stop by, you know, in all honesty, Viola. But she was very spiritual, and like she had like a veil lifted over her life, and she can kind of like, you know, prophesy, which I kind of, you know, don't knock me. You know, there's some false prophets out there, but I believe this stuff, you know, because I was like brought up in a house, you know, that believed it. And like, I'll call a spade because some people are just pure, mark my words, bullshit, you know. I don't want to put down on anyone's ministry or anything, but some people are really, really real what they do, and they make the connections, and you know, they have their eyes open to that other world, which all of us can, you know, get our eyes open to that other world, because we are all humans and we all can do that. It's just you have to go through a process in order to open your eyes to that world, and you got to kind of change your way of thinking in order to, you know, do them kind of things. So never settle yourself less, guys. That's one thing I want all my viewers to know. Like, never like settle for less. Always believe that you as a person, you, your family, everyone you love could do better, but you can only give an account for yourself. So if you want to, you know, be awakening to, you know, that other realm, you know, Google it. Some of the crap may be bull crap, but you got to be smart enough to wean through the bull crap, and then once you find the real stuff, like Guyana, do the work, and you come back and send me an email, or maybe by then I have a phone and you can come and leave me a voicemail on the whole story and the whole process and let me know. But I know it works, and I believe when I believe, and sometimes I have been in situations and I really don't believe, but I believe. My experience, my urban experience, watch out for the podcast, would be it's going to be so phenomenal. Me and Sean's going to blow it out the water. And of course, you know, my fiance is going to do a lot of special experience, a lot of special, you know, stopping by. And he may even be filling in for me sometimes, because, you know, I'm kind of starting back to do a lot of more promotional gigs on weekends and stuff, you know. So I don't know, because he's like really, really just dope, and like, I don't know, sometimes like in communicate, I know I'm smart, you know, but sometimes just having communication with, you know, my husband, it's like, okay, let me process this in my head and go back, because I really know I know it, or let me just pull out some smart trick like I really know it. Because, I mean, I don't know, I'm smart, but it's just, like, it's just crazy, because smart is just not just, it's used so differently, like how I'm taught, and like how, like when I grew up, it was to be, like, in my day and age, it was like, oh, you're smart, you know this, you know that, but, you know, there is, you know, different kinds of smart. You can be book smart, you know, hood smart, street smart, like computer smart. Like, I don't know, it's so many different kinds of smart. But like, my smart is so different from, you know, my fiance slash husband. I'm gonna stop calling him my fiance. My husband's smart, because like, I don't know, it's like through his lifestyle and his experiences, he was exposed to so many different things, being, you know, where he went through life. And through my lifestyle and my experiences, you know, I was exposed to other things, and like, they're totally opposite. So like, we're two different kinds of smarts, because it's like, so many times, like, he will be talking to me about something and I won't know. Or the other way around, like, I'll be talking to him about something and he won't know what I'm talking about. So like, but you know, we're able to, when we do engage in conversation, we get into deep conversation, and it's like, his smartness like just dominates me, and I'm like, oh no, the person that I am, I'm going to stand my ground, and I'm going to be smart, and I'm gonna come back. And I always do, and that's what makes it so fun. And you know, I kind of like, you know, having those kind of conversations with him, because it kind of gets me ready for like my platform, like you guys and the podcast, you know, just bringing topics, because you know I try to stay relevant on like different things that's going on, like that I care about, and I think a lot of people would care about or should care about. And you know, I want to kind of bring that to you guys in a different way, but then relate that to us, because you know they're not on our tax bracket. So like, even though I care about it, you know, it's not on my tax bracket, but you know, it still can relate to us on our tax bracket in a different kind of way. That's all. You may lost, you know, $500,000. I may lost $25,000. You know, but it's still kind of like the two kind of stories. So that's kind of like what my story times would be, because you know, I don't know, I don't think I ever seen anyone do it, but like I'll try to just stay relevant on topics that are at hand, and you know, if I can relate it to, you know, a topic in my life, I'll tie them together and, you know, create a story time, you know. And it could still kind of be like the Dollar General one, because you know, that one's just getting, I think, it kind of likes, it's probably like at 50 views now, you know. I don't know. Hey, I have 7 subscribers, like I said before. I started off with 0. Now I have 7, so I feel proud, because you know, like, even though like I work in direct marketing, but I haven't did no marketing for my YouTube. And to be fair, I'm not calling anybody out, and I love everybody, but not one of my 7 subscribers are my family members. I'm not related to any one of my 7 subscribers, so you are people of my platform. And you know, at first I was kind of feeling jaded about it, because like when I first launched, I sent my link to everybody who I just knew had a YouTube channel. Like, 'cause everybody have a YouTube channel, even though if you're not like on it, you have a YouTube channel, and you can hit the subscribe. Because you know, I don't know a lot of people, but you know, I know about enough to have about 10, but no one subscribed, I don't think, to my knowledge. And if you did, I'm sorry, but from how I see it, I don't think any one of my 7 people subscribed. And I think that's kind of weird. I don't know. I don't know how to check it. Hey, if somebody know how to check to see who subscribed to your channel, let me know. But hey, hopefully we get more. But hey, to me, 7 is still a lot, and then my views kind of go up, you know. So hey, and then I promote, like I be at work, like, hey Caitlin, giving Caitlin a shout out. But like, Caitlin is my good work friend, you know, and I'm at work like, hey girl, what kind of jobs you got for me, you know? And she's like, Terrence, you know that? So we're just talking, and I'm like, well, you know, she's telling me how her weekend's going, because that's the kind of person I am. I'm like, Caitlin can be in the comments and let you know, like, I'm that person that, you know, just, I care, like, you know, I really, really do. I'm a genuine person. And it don't make them like me a lot, because I try to interact with a lot of people, but some people are like, But back to Caitlin, and we just be talking. But one day I told her, like, yeah, you know, hey, I'm working on a YouTube channel. And she was like, well, you have to let me know, because when you do it, you know, I want to check it out. And I was like, cool, you know. Because me and Caitlin, like, we have really built, like, a really, really good friend-work relationship. And I kind of, like, if I don't stay at my current job, I would still kind of want to email Caitlin, but I'm like, how would that look me emailing her from like my EDU or something? But we'll figure something out. Hopefully that won't happen. I'll stay